You're watching football. A player makes a run, gets the ball, scores. Commentator screams, "Brilliant movement from the number 10." You think, what is a number 10? A player wins the ball back in midfield. Commentator, incredible work rate from the defensive midfielder. You think, there are different types of midfielder? The goalkeeper sprints 40 yards out of his goal to clear the ball. Commentator, classic sweeper-keeper moment. You order a beer. You stare at the screen. You understand nothing. This video fixes that. Every position, every role, explained simply. Let's go. Before positions, you need to understand formations. A formation is just how a team lines up on the pitch. 3 numbers, like 4-3-3. 4 defenders, 3 midfielders, 3 forwards. The goalkeeper is never counted. He's always there. So 4-3-3 is actually 11 players total. Now here's what most people get wrong about formations. They think a formation is fixed, like a chess opening. It's not. A team might line up in 4-3-3 when they have the ball. The second they lose it, the same players instantly reshape into a 5-4-1. Nobody called a timeout. Nobody drew a play. The players read the game and moved themselves. This is why football coaches are not calling plays every 30 seconds like NFL coaches. They can't. There are no stoppages. There are no timeouts. The game never pauses. Players make hundreds of decisions per game completely on their own. That's why positional intelligence is the most valuable thing in football. Not speed, not strength, intelligence. Start at the back. The goalkeeper, 1 per team, the only player who can use his hands. Inside his own penalty box. Outside the box, he's just like everyone else. Feet only. His primary job, stop the ball going into the net. Simple to say, nearly impossible to do at the highest level. There are 3 types. The shot stopper, stays on his line, focuses purely on saving shots. Traditional, safe, predictable. The sweeper keeper, comes aggressively off his line to deal with danger behind the defense. If it works, he kills the attack before it even starts. If it goes wrong, the goal is completely empty. High risk, high reward. The ball-playing goalkeeper distributes precisely with his feet, starts attacks. Essentially a quarterback who also plays defense. The best goalkeepers today do all 3. Watch the goalkeeper when his team has the ball. He's not standing still. He's positioning, reading, ready to act. That's why it's the hardest position in football. 4 defenders is the most common setup. 2 center backs in the middle, 2 fullbacks on the sides. Center backs, stop the opposing striker. Simple job description, brutal job in reality. You need to be fast enough to keep up with the quickest strikers, strong enough to win physical battles, smart enough to read the game 2 seconds before everyone else, and calm enough to pass under pressure when your goalkeeper rolls it to you. Virgil van Dijk of Netherlands is 6'4" and widely considered the best center back in the world. You will not get past him easily. Now fullbacks. 20 years ago their job was simple. Defend the wide area. Don't let the winger cross. Today, fullbacks are basically attacking players who also happen to defend. Alphonso Davies of Canada sprints up and down the left side for 90 minutes. He creates goals. He defends. He sprints back. He does it again. It's one of the most physically demanding roles in any sport. Then there's the wingback, used in teams with 3 center backs instead of 4. Wingbacks push even higher up the pitch than fullbacks. They're practically wide midfielders who also do defensive work. Achraf Hakimi of Morocco is the best example. Right side, pace, goals, assists, and he still tracks back every time. Here's something every football fan knows. Control midfield and you control the game. Lose midfield and you're chasing shadows for 90 minutes. 3 types of midfielder matter most. First, the defensive midfielder, the number 6. He sits in front of the defense, breaks up attacks, wins the ball, covers space. He's the player you don't notice until he's not there. Rodri of Spain is the best in the world at this position. He rarely scores. He rarely does anything flashy. But when Spain play without him, they look like a different team. That's the number 6. Invisible, essential. Second, the box-to-box midfielder. He does everything. Defends, attacks, covers every blade of grass. Jude Bellingham of England is 22 years old. He won the Champions League with Real Madrid. He scores. He defends. He organizes. He appears in positions that make no sense. Watch him during the game, and you'll understand why he's one of the best players in the world. Federico Valverde of Uruguay is the same type. Pure, relentless engine. Third, the number 10, the attacking midfielder. The most creative position in football. He plays between midfield and attack. His job is to find passes that nobody else even sees, to unlock defenses that have held firm for 70 minutes. Bruno Fernandes of Portugal is the classic number 10. Shoots, passes, creates danger every single time he touches the ball. In American terms, he's the point guard of the team. Here's something that confuses people. Look at Lamine Yamal of Spain. He's right-footed. He plays on the right wing. That makes sense. Now look at Vinicius Jr. of Brazil. He's left-footed. He plays on the left wing. Also makes sense. But now look at most other wingers. Right-footed players on the left wing. Left-footed players on the right wing. Backwards. Why? Because instead of crossing the ball, they cut inside onto their stronger foot and shoot. These players are called inside forwards or inverted wingers. The defender doesn't know. Will he go outside and cross or cut inside and shoot? That uncertainty is the weapon. Kylian Mbappé of France does both. He won the Golden Boot in La Liga 2 seasons in a row. He can play wide left, wide right, or through the center. Defenders prepare for him all week. It doesn't matter. That's why he's one of the 2 or 3 best players in the world. The striker, the number 9, the center forward. One job, score goals. Simple description, incredibly difficult execution. 3 types. The target man, big, physical, wins headers in traffic. He holds the ball up while teammates run forward to support him. Think of a tight end who also scores touchdowns. The runner, smaller, faster, sprints in behind the defense. He needs the ball played into empty space, not to his feet. Then there is Erling Haaland, 6'5", over 300 goals at club level, 55 goals in 49 Norway appearances, fast enough to run past defenders, strong enough to hold off any center back, target man and runner combined into one person. He is the reason Norway are at this tournament for the first time since 1998. And then there's the false 9, a striker who drops deep into midfield instead of staying up front. The defending center back faces an impossible choice. Follow him deep and leave space behind for midfielders to run into, or hold position and let him receive the ball with time and space in midfield. Either way, the defense is in trouble. Lionel Messi used this role at Barcelona under Pep Guardiola between 2009 and 2012. It permanently changed how football tactics work. One player, one role. Changed the game forever. Here's the honest truth about all these positions. They're becoming less relevant every single year. The best teams in the world play what coaches call positionless football. Players swap constantly during the game. A center back carries the ball into midfield. A midfielder makes a run into the penalty box and scores. A striker drops so deep he's effectively a midfielder. The formation on the team sheet is a starting point, not a rule. This is what makes football the most tactically complex team sport on earth. You cannot call a timeout and redesign the play. Your players read the game themselves, in real time, at full speed, for 90 minutes. When it works, nothing in sport looks like it. So now when the commentator says number 10, you know he means the most creative player on the team. When he says sweeper keeper, you know the goalkeeper just made a high-risk decision. When he says false 9, you know a striker just destroyed a defensive structure by going where strikers aren't supposed to go. That's why positions matter in football. And that's why understanding them makes every match more interesting. Subscribe to Why Football. We explain the game simply. No jargon, no assumptions. Next video, why the offside rule exists, and why it's actually brilliant. It's already up, go watch it.